Getting ready for some racing at Woodbine this week. We're going to talk about the Thursday pick five over at Woodbine, and you can play that pick five, the early pick five, starting in race number 2, $50,000 guaranteed pick five pool. I'm always looking at the daily racing form past performances. I like to look at the DRF formulator past performances. You can actually get those for free right now if you sign up for a DRF Bets account. Here's what you do: $250 deposit match bonus. So follow these steps at DRF Bets. Sign up, use the promo code WINNING. They're going to give you a $10 free bet once you register. Then when you deposit exactly $250, they'll give you a $250 matching bonus. So all of a sudden, there's your $500 plus the $10 from the free registration. They'll also give you free formulator past performances, 10 free formulator cards. And then once you're a DRF Bets member, every time you wager $50, you get another credit for a DRF past performance card. So you want to sign up right now for DRF Bets, because with Woodbine, I'm going to be talking about Woodbine every day that they are racing now for the remainder of the meet. We have great racing coming up in the summer at Saratoga, at Del Mar, all over the place. Wherever you're playing, you're going to need those daily racing form past performances. You're going to need those formulator past performances. So sign up for a DRF Bets account right now. Let's talk early pick five on Thursday at Woodbine. We're looking at July the 13th card. That pick five starts in race number 2. 4 days a week of racing right now at Woodbine. Every Thursday, they will have first post at 4:50. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going to start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern time. Starting next week, they move their first post up just a few minutes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think, to 1:05 Eastern time. And then every Thursday and Friday, they have a guaranteed pick five pool, $50,000. It starts in race 2. You can play for 20 cents. Every Saturday and Sunday, that pick five pool has bumped up to $100,000 guarantee in the pick five pool. So every day there's Woodbine racing. There's a big guarantee. There's a pick five pool, and you can play for 20 cents. It starts in race number 2. Let's take a look at this maiden $15,000 claimer, 6.5 furlongs, the distance. I'm going to start with the number 5 in here, Social Drinker. This is a 4-year-old filly. Her debut race was very good. She was a runner-up coming from way out of it, going 5.5. And then in her second start, she didn't against a tough group that day, but she drew the rail and she had a little bit of trouble. It just was not a smooth journey. She was way out of it. Her third start, though, getting class relief, blinkers came on, and it was a good effort. Again, she had a slow start. She was last. You actually watch the replay right here when you pull up the daily racing form past performances. So she was the one. She draws the rail this day, and watch what ends up happening. It's just not the smoothest of trips for her. She's slow start, so she ends up last in this race to start. She's about 6 lengths off, and she ends up moving to the 2 path, and she kind of gets stopped. She has to back up again. She moves in between horses again. Nowhere to go, but traveling well. She ends up having to tip out. See, like right here, she moves in between horses and has to tap on the brakes because there's no room there. So again, when she wanted her momentum was traveling well and it wanted to push her up. She got stopped again after the slow start. Now she's just kind of sitting at the back of the pack, traveling well. She starts to go in between, and then she's going to have to tip out. And she's just a little bit flat late. Right here, you could see she wants to go. Like, she has some run. She just doesn't have anywhere to go. And then they've got to angle her all the way around. She's sort of still looking for room, trying to find a spot. Can she get in between there? No, let's just tip all the way to the outside. And here she comes. And look, she's not far out of it right here, but she has to use so much and just kind of shift herself around just to get up into contention. She's a little bit flat late. She's kind of hanging on the wrong lead there. But I thought there's something here with Social Drinker, the number 5, 8-1 on the morning line. She's going to be in the mix for me. Chloe, the number 2, Smokin' Chloe. She's a major player in here. She had a fast start from the outside. She just couldn't cross over. She may be the speed of the speed and the one to catch in here. She gets the inside, the more inside draw. And she's faster than the 1, certainly. So if she gets a good start, she could be tough to run down. The 5 and the 2 are my top 2 in here. Following that, I would go to the 3, Muchalina, first-time starter. She's intriguing. Her dam was a 4-time winner. You can click right here and see when you're looking at the daily racing form past performances that KDO was a 4-time winner and doesn't really have anything to report when you're talking about direct siblings. Only one other one, and was a maiden. The number 6, Castleton, 12-1 on the morning line. She will be one of the quicker in here. She was down on the inside, and she was part of a 3-way battle, and then she had to take back and kind of check out of a spot, and she tried to come on again, but that's really hard to do, especially when you're kind of at the lower levels. She wouldn't shock. The 7 would be the other one. So I've got 5-2 as my top 2. You wanted to go a little bit deeper, 3, 6, and 7. I mean, I don't need the 7 in here. I like others more with a little more upside as we move to race number 3. Second leg of the pick 5 sequence is a $15,000 claimer going a mile on the turf course. Ali, I'm out in the menagerie. Ali. Menagerie is going to be in the mix for me. Look at the turf effort. 2 starts back at Fort Erie. That race on the grass is one of the best turf races in the field. And honestly, just off of that alone, I think you have to use this horse in your pick 4s, pick 5s, any type of early exotics that you're playing. The 2's the horse to beat. PS Rising Star has been consistent on both services over the last few and is the measuring stick for this race. The only turf race was behind a runoff leader. He was 3rd, 6 back. He's closed down the center of the racetrack. He's just sort of tough to leave out. PS Rising Star, she's sort of tough to leave out. And the 5 would be the other one for me. Fraulein Victoria is actually my top selection. So her race, let's watch it. I thought it was really good. She just looks pretty fast when you watch her. She's the 8 in here. She's also in the race with the number 5, Ashley's Ring. Ashley's Ring is in this race on Thursday, and Ashley's Ring is the number 6. So we're watching the 5 and the 8. Watch Fraulein Victoria. She's going to get to the lead. She's quick, and she's able to clear here. And I just thought with this speed, first time out of the box, going 7.5 furlongs, which is not easy to do. So she gets the lead. She's dealing with pressure on the outside. And she continues to, flash that good speed. What we'll see with her is she puts the early speed away. And at the top of the lane, she's got the lead and she's trying to kick for home. But after that pressure, and having dealt with that pressure, she's going to tire a little bit. And right here early in the stretch, you see the 3 horses that were just sitting the trip behind. They're going to come and they're going to pass her. But she doesn't just stop. She's still trying. This was just the debut. In looking at the rest of this group, she is one of the quicker in here, no doubt about it. So I like her quite a bit, making her second start. This barn is fantastic with horses that make their second start. You can take a look at the statistics when you dive into the daily racing form database. So you can look at second career starters, and you can see that they've always had good success. 20% over the last 5 years, winning with 17 of the last 83 of them. And they've won with 2 of their last 3 horses making their second start. So we can expect some improvement from a horse who already I thought ran really well in the debut and might have a pace advantage over this field. Top selection for me, the number 5, Fraulein Victoria. She's 6-1 on the morning line. I thought if she's anything over like 7-2, that's fair. I'll use 1, 2, and 5 all over the place. The 3 wouldn't shock me. Forever Danish. She will be more forwardly placed on the stretch out. There's some turf in the pedigree there too. 2 sprints to a route for her. Lots of things to like. I wasn't as high on the number 5 or on the number 6, Ashley's Ring in the same race with Fraulein Victoria. I thought Ashley's Ring was just late on the scene and that Fraulein Victoria has more room for upside there. And then on the outside, Leading Force would be the other one. Wouldn't shock. Was down inside, was in some traffic, got pushed back, waited to move through the inside, and was all the way up to 3rd before flattening out a little bit late. 5-2-1, my top tier. Others in here, 3, 6, and 8. If you want to go deeper, use unders. But for me, those top 3 will be in the mix all over as we move to race number 4, middle part of the pick 5 sequence. And in this race, the number 1, Gizmo's BFF, comes off of a win in a similar spot against the 25 or so claiming level. So right back in this spot, he fits, or she fits. But the 2 horses I like the most in here are the 4 and the 6. The 4 is Dakota, who had a good start down on the inside last time out, was able to move up the rail, up the challenge. He's a 5-time winner here at Woodbine, really likes this trip. And what's nice is that she is speedy, but she can also sit off a little bit. You want that versatility, I think, at a sprint distance like this. So I think she ends up being in a really nice spot here. Also, the number 6 was the other one for me. Ishiaya. If she wants to go, she might be the quickest. Her and probably Loaded Vixen, if they both really were intent on going, I think it would be between one of those 2. So I'm thinking she's going to get a different trip than she got last time out. She was 4 deep. She was in between horses. She was about 2 or 3 lengths off. She waited. And then she was 3 wide in the 3 wide, but she was behind a wall of 4 horses. She moved in between. Then she was out in the 5 path closing. It really wasn't bad. And she's faster than that too. If they want to use some of that early speed, they may be able to in this spot. We've got the 4 and the 6 all over the place here. Others to include the 1, as I mentioned, and the 7, Verdejo, who's getting major class relief. I mean, of course, she wouldn't shock, but I'm okay playing against her. I would go 4, 6, some 1, try to take a swing against the heavy favorite of the 7 there. As we move to race number 5, going a mile and a 16th on the synthetic, we'll look to the inside here for me. I thought both the 1 and the 2 were horses to use in your pick 5s. The 1 finalist has inside speed, 3rd start off the long layoff on the class drop. This horse might be the one to catch. There is not very much other speed in this field. The 2 Bet is not that fast. The 3 Sailor's Passion is not. The 4 is not. The 5, just by process of elimination, I'm actually going to use Lion's Golden Heart in the pick 5. Because now he's going to go 3rd start off the layoff, and he could end up in a really nice spot. He's naturally quicker than most of these in here. He might be sitting 2nd or 3rd. If 1 or 2 things went different, he could be right on the lead. And then you look to the outside, Flat Out Vixen can show a little bit of speed, but we're not talking speed. I mean, his most recent win, when he was on the lead, he went almost 51 to the half. I'm a little cold on this mare, Flat Out Vixen, the 7-year-old mare, against the boys. She's just looking at numbers and figures. I think she's a tad below recently, like some of her better races. And then Colleyville, I think Colleyville is probably the horse to beat. Tossed the turf race last time out. He's not fast, though. 1, 2, and 7 all over the place. Thinking that the 1 could just get a really nice trip from the inside. I hope they're aggressively handled. The 2 Bet shouldn't be too far out of it. Can sit a very nice trip. You key off his races going long on the synthetic. The runner-up from the 2 starts back race, CC's Kingdom, won next out against Optional 15. We saw CC's Kingdom in the running lines for some of the other horses in this race. 1, 2, 5 in the mix for me. I thought the 3, Sailor's Passion, we could make a case for this one. Getting back to the synthetic races, 2 and 3 starts back. Those fit really well with this group. And the outside runner is the other. I just didn't love the 6 as much, Flat Out Vixen. So let's go 1, 2, 7. 5 and 3 would be others that I'm using as well. Let's close this thing out in race number 6. It's the $15,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime claimer going 5 furlongs. The number 6 horse, Olympic Fencer, is a big price in here. But this filly Tried the turf last time out. We could just put a line right through it. On the synthetic, was very good in May and in June, was sharp. She has a little bit of tactical speed, but mainly she can pass horses. And I always like using one of these type of horses in a 5 furlong race because generally you're going to get a lot of early speed. And look at the way this race shapes up down inside. The 1, Green Gables, is fast. The 2, Jill, is really fast. This 5-year-old mare, let's watch her race last time out. I know it was the first start in like 6 months, but it's a field of 4. It's similar type field. Jill was the number
The field is now
4 there.
clean,
Hey, Robert
locked up.
Geller, the voice of track announcer Robert Geller. So Jill is the 4, right? Look, she gets the lead, clears in a small field, the exact type of trip she wants. And like right here, turning for home, top of the stretch, she's still clear a couple lengths. You really can't ask for a better type trip. And she just stops late. I have a tough time kind of trusting her because she has not been a win machine as of late. And seeing that happened in a race when she cleared the field. Now she's going to have to deal with right outside of her the 3, Quiet Madalena, to the inside of her Green Gables, who was in that race with her, who was in that race with her and finished 3rd, and Green Gables wasn't as fast. But now again, Green Gables draws the rail. I think they're going to try to be more aggressive with her. So I don't love the inside horses as much. They could all push each other. The 1, 2, 3, even the 4 is the real wild card in the race, but I'm going to use her because she should offer you some really nice value. Total wild card, a barn who has not won a race yet this year. They've had a bunch of minor awards. But let's look back at 2 and 3 starts back. These races at Gulfstream aren't bad. She wins in January against 12-5 non-winners of 2. She's proven on the synthetic, actually. She's run on the synthetic out at Presque Isle and at Gulfstream Park. And now she got the race over the track here at Woodbine last time. She tried a lot tougher. They were just looking to see where she fit. She flashed some early speed before packing it in. She cuts back now from 6.5 all the way to 5. Fitter, she might be sitting in a perfect spot where she's able to just fall into a nice trip. I'm using the 6 and the 4 everywhere in this race. I think the 5 has got a little bit of a shot. She hasn't won in a couple years, and that's because of her running style. But if she's ever going to be in a spot where they could be going really fast early, it's here. And look, it's not as if the class is an issue for her because she's competitive against better. For her, it just comes down to running style. She's just a deep closer who needs the right type of trip. She may get it in here. She's actually shown that she can get up and win, going shorter distances. I'm going to use her in a pick 5 or 2, the number 5, Old Secrets. I like the 6, 4, 5. Then I would go down to the inside for the 2 speed horses with the 1 and the 2. But I thought it was a fun pick 5 because to me it felt like there were some vulnerable favorites in here, which means that it will chalk out all the way through. Let's hope that's not the case. And I'm going to be looking forward to talking to Woodbine with you each and every day they are racing. We'll either have a few best bets. We'll either have a look at the pick 5 just like this. Maybe some days we'll go through stakes races, or we'll take a look at, the full card on big days. This week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday racing at Woodbine. Thursday, first post, 4:50 Eastern time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first post, 1:10 p.m. Eastern time. We have the $50,000 guaranteed pick 5 Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, that bumps up to $100,000. This weekend, the stake schedule, Saturday, July the 15th, the My Deer Stakes, 2-year-old fillies going 5.5 on the synthetic for $125,000. And on Sunday, July the 16th, it's the Victoria Stakes for 2-year-olds going 5.5, $125,000 up for grabs there. That's a look at Woodbine for Thursday and the schedule coming up this week. Make sure to subscribe to That's What G Said podcast. Come give me a follow on Twitter. It's me, Gino B. We are going to have so much content free content just like this all through the summer. Woodbine, Saratoga, Del Mar, Louisiana Downs. We're going to be pumping through all those tracks all summer long, as well as getting you set up for the NFL season with previews, team by team previews. If you're a fan of Marvel, the MCU, and Star Wars, we're doing recaps right now of Secret Invasion and anything going on in the world of Star Wars or in Marvel. We'll have deep dives, recaps for TV shows, for movies, for all of that. Every week, Chad Cooper joins me to talk about everything going on in the world of wrestling for This Week in Wrestling, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, all the pay-per-views, NXT, AEW, Dynamite, Collision, everything going on in the world of wrestling. Yeah, we talk about all of that stuff every single week. Eric from Etoff21 Sports joins me to talk football. If you like sports, if you like pop culture, and if you like horse racing, come and give us a